Hello all, welcome to my tutorial. Today I am going to explain about HTML interview questions. Okay, this will useful for freshers as well as experienced people. Okay, if you have any questions, you can comment. If you don't have any clarity, all this thing. Okay, so that I will re-explain. So I will start one by one interview questions. Let me start. I will share you this documentation after everything done. Okay. First I will explain. So what is the first question is, what is HTML? Okay. HTML means hypertext markup language. This is the full form of the HTML. So we will use HTML for creating web page or websites or mobile pages. Okay. So this is very popular language for front-end people. Most of the websites or web pages using HTML only we will create. There is no alternative for this. Okay, so that's why this is the most popular language. HTML is the one. Okay, so saving HTML we will use this one .htm or .html. Anyone we can use, either .html or .htm while saving. File name .html or file name .htm. Okay. I will tell you next. Let's go to next one. Basic structure of HTML page. Okay, what is the basic structure? What and all required for minimum elements? So one is doc type. Okay, this doc type will useful for the it will tell to the browser this is a HTML page with fifth version, so that it will display properly whatever HTML we are writing. Browser knows, and it will display properly based on our HTML. Okay, that's why we will use the first line, this one, to tell to the browser this is a HTML page with fifth version. Fifth version is the latest one. Okay, then it will start with HTML element. This is the root element, because this is the first element, that's why it is called as root element. Inside that two sections will be there. One is head element, one is body element. Inside head element we will write the title of the element, title of the web page. Let's say currently I'm explaining about interview questions, so I just written HTML interview questions as a title of my web page. Here inside body I will write content of my web page. I will use some headings, paragraphs, or some articles, anything I can write inside body. This will display inside the browser. This title will display inside the tab. Okay, if you go browser, title will display here, but whatever you are seeing other than title here, this is the body part. Okay, so that is about title and body part. Okay, let's go to next one. What is doc type? So doc type I just explained. Doc type is the first line of the HTML, so that will tell to the browser this is a HTML page with fifth version, so that browser will identify this is a HTML version, HTML fifth version. Whatever elements we are writing inside a HTML page, that should display. Okay, otherwise there are so many documents are there other than HTML. There is JSP pages, are there, PHP pages, there is Java, so many languages are there. So browser should understand whether which type of web page it is. So this will tell to the browser this is a HTML page with fifth version. Okay, because there is different versions also there inside HTML, 1 2 3 4 like that. So current version is fifth. Okay, next, what is the difference between HTML elements and tags? Okay, HTML elements means structure will be like this. This is a starting tag, this is the ending tag. In between starting tag and ending tag, content we will write. Okay, this I will change, it should be ending tag. In between starting tag and ending tag we will write content of the web page. Okay, for example this one, If we want to write some headings, this is starting tag, this is the ending tag. Ending tag we will end with this one slash. Okay, in between we will write the content, starting tag and ending tag between. Okay, similar way paragraph also. There is few elements are there without ending tag. If you see here, ending tag is there, right, for heading. Here also paragraph ending tag is there, but few of the elements will not have any end tag. For example, image. See here, there is no image. Inside src attribute we will give path of the image. There will be no end tag here. Similar way, breaking. If you want to give some space between the elements, we will use the break element. Okay, there is no end tag here also. Horizontal line also, there will be no end tag. So these three elements will not have end tag. Okay, remaining most of the elements will have end tag, similar like heading and paragraph. Okay, for example, I told so many elements are there. Okay. Then this is about element. Element is starting tag, ending tag will be there. In between content will write. Few of the elements will not have end tag. But here what is the question? Between difference between HTML elements and tags. Tag is a part of the element. So if you take heading, if you take heading element, here starting tag is there, this is ending tag is there. In between we will write the content. So tag is a part of the element. If we take image, here starting tag will be there. So here tag is part of the image here also. So that is about elements versus tags. Tag is part of the element. So element means starting tag and ending tag, between content is there. Few scenarios like this, there will be no end tag also. Let's go to next question. What is an attribute? Okay, attribute we will write inside starting tag. Okay, most of the times. So for example, if you take image, this is the attribute src. In src we will give path of the image. Similar way, width and height also we can use the attributes. If we want to give some width of the image, we can use the width attribute. Height attribute also you can use for giving height. Okay, if we take some form elements, most of the form elements they will use type attribute. So based on this type attribute only, this form elements can identify whether it is a text element or password element or checkbox or radio button. There is so many elements are there inside the this one forms. So based on this type attribute only we can identify. Okay, so this type attribute we will write inside the starting tag. We will not write in the end tag. Okay, next, how link works. So in our web page or websites, if you see, some links will be there for navigating from one page to another page. So using hyperlinks, we can navigate from one page to another page. For example, we will write hyperlink like this. Using a element, we will write like this, starting tag and ending tag. In starting tag, we will return the attribute. href is the attribute. Inside href, we will give the path of the link where it should navigate. If I click on this Google, it should navigate to this href. That is about hyperlink. So we can navigate from our web page to some another web page. We can use this hyperlink. Let's go to next question. How to open link in a new tab. So just now I explained about links, right? Like this we will write, but I want to open this one in the new tab. By default it will open in the same tab. If I click on this Google, google.co.1, this one will open in the same tab, but I want to open in the new tab. So if you tab means, I will show you. So here tab means this one. So I want to open in the new tab like this instead of opening in the same tab. So we will use that one attribute called target attribute inside hyperlink. Then it will open in the new tab instead of opening in the same tab. So for example, here I have written target attribute. Target equals to underscore blank. Underscore blank means it will open in the new tab instead of opening in the same tab. That is about opening in the new tab. Let's go to next question. what are the empty elements. Empty elements means there will be no end tag, so those elements called as empty elements. For example, break, this will not have any end tag. Similar way, horizontal line also no end tag, and image also. So these three elements will not have end tag, so these elements called as empty elements. If someone asks what are the empty elements, we can tell to them these are the empty elements, because this will not have end tag. Without end tag, whatever elements, those are empty elements. Next question, what is the use of alt attribute in image? Okay. Alt attribute, here we can use inside image we will write the alt attribute. So when we will write means, let's say we give in some path of the image here inside src attribute. If that for example we given wrong path by mistake or somehow wrong path we given inside src, then that image will not load. At that time alt attribute will useful. So when image not loaded, then alternative text will display to the inside the browser. Instead of image, this alternative text will display if path is wrong. That is use of alt attribute. Okay. If some scenarios, maybe by mistake we given path is wrong for the image, then this alt attribute will display. If path is proper, then alt attribute this will not display. Alt means alternative text. Okay. Instead of image, this alternative text will display. Let's go to the next question. What is the use of field set and legend elements? Okay. So this will come inside forms, field set and legend element. Field set element we will write for providing the border of content. Let's say you have some form. So if you want to give some border around the form, you can use the field set element. Okay. Similar way, this legend is the combination to the field set element. Okay. So legend will useful for the title of the content. Let's say by using field set I have given border of the form. So for that form I want to give the title. Using the title, using this legend element, we will give the title of the content. Okay. That is about legend element. Okay. I will show you practically at the end of this thing. Otherwise I will show you now only how this field set and legend will work. Let's go to here. Quickly I will create one thing. Let's say interview.html, because few of the things we need to show practically. Let's create some doc type HTML, then HTML, then head section will be there. Inside head section let's write some title. Let's say HTML interview questions. Okay. Now inside body I am just explaining about field set and legend where we will use. Let's say I have one form with input type text. Okay. Similar way I have, let's say, password also. Let's add some button also. Input type equal to submit. So let's see, let's run this one in the browser. Just I have written some form, basic form, just run in the browser. So here you can right click and here you run the open with live server. I am using the this one Visual Studio Code. I am using the editor. Okay, you can use this will be very useful for the UI developer. Okay, so here it is coming, username and password, this one, some form also. So now I want to give, let's write some in the new line each one. For writing new line I will use the break element for breaking the line here also. Now let's see now one more, give one more break here also. So now it is coming, right? So now I want to give use the field set element. So here I will use the field set element. field set element. So inside field set I will keep everything. Let's format this one. So now see how it will come. See, I used field set element, so it is coming around the border. Now I want to use the some title, so I can use the legend element. Okay, legend. Here I will give HTML questions. See, I used legend element. See how it will come. See, now it is coming like this. If you want to come this title in middle, you can use text align center. Okay. So that is about the field set and legend. Field set will give around any element, it will give the border. This for title I used legend element. Okay, that is the combination, both field set and legend. Okay, so you can show them in practically if someone ask in interview. So you can show them, you can show some code, you can write some code and you can show them practically, then they good impression will come to you. Kind of these questions. Okay, then go to next one. What is the difference between checkbox and radio button? So checkbox means if you have some let's say most of the registrations form will ask are you sure, are you please agree the terms and conditions, then they will use this checkbox. If you select the checkbox, you mean that means you are agreeing, otherwise you are not agreeing. So radio button means, let's say you want to select some multiple options to single option. Let's say you want to select some your gender from male, female or other. From these three options you want to select only one. Then you can use the radio button. Okay, instead of checkbox. Checkbox will useful for if you want to select only one option. Means if there is no alternative for this one, you can use checkbox. Like terms and agree terms and conditions, you can use checkbox. If you want to select something from multiple options to single option, you can use the radio button. Let's go to next. What are the new elements in HTML5? Yeah, this is the very important question most of the people will ask. So in HTML5 there are few elements introduced: audio, video, header, footer, article, aside, section. All these elements they introduced newly in HTML5. Audio, video element are the media elements, so we can play audio as well as video. Header is full for the if you want to write some header. Let's say you are creating some web page or website. On top of your if you open your web page, on mostly header we will use for the top section. Footer is full for the some copyright or some terms and conditions you can use inside footer section. Article, if you are writing some articles, you can use article. Similar to some paragraph div only, this and all. Okay, but they introduced newly in HTML5. Aside means some side section, some side content. If you want to write aside, you can use. Section means some section of content. If you want to write, you can use. Article can have multiple sections actually. So all these elements you can use like similar to paragraph or div element only. There is no separate way to use. Similar to other elements only you can use these things. Let's go to next, semantic elements. So semantic elements means, so this name itself will tell to the browser as well as to the developer. So that will intimate to the developer also. So for example, if we take this table element will tell to the developer as well as browser. So this is for the table purpose we will use. Name itself will say to the developer and browser. This form, if we take form, for writing forms we will use this form element. Similar way, articles, for writing article we will use. For writing sections we will use this one. For writing header and footer we will use this too. So name itself will tell to the browser as well as developer. Those elements called as semantic elements. Okay. There are some non-semantic elements also there. Okay. Next question is, what are the non-semantic elements? So let's say div, span and p. So div means user, developer or user, they will not understand by seeing immediately this div. If we see this one table form, we can identify easily that is for table or form, this thing. but div means there is no particular meaning for that, so user difficult to understand what is div. Generally span also similar, p also. Okay, so non semantic means this one. So by seeing this naming we cannot identify easily. So but semantic elements we can identify easily this based on the names, and this will useful in the SEO. Whatever semantic element, SEO means search engine optimization. Okay, I will tell in later after that. What is the meta information? Yeah, meta information also will useful in the SEO, search engine optimization. So for example, meta information we will write inside the head section. So if we go here, here head section is there, right? Here we will write the meta information, all these things, whatever meta tags available. Okay, for example, meta information means here we will write the author who written this web page. For example, here it will say who is the author, here it will say the name of the author, content. Here name attribute will say the description. Description is what our web page contains. Okay, here for example I mentioned web page will explain HTML basics and it will provide basic questions about HTML interviews. So just what our web page will explain, you can write the description here inside content. Similar way keywords also, what keywords contains our web page. Let's say HTML basics, interview questions, front end development skills. So multiple skills you can write comma separated ones, use keywords. So all these things, author, description, keywords, useful in the SEO, search engine optimization. So what is exactly SEO? Let's go to Google and search for some let's say Ganguly. Then some results will come here. Okay, some internet issue, yeah. So now some results are coming here, Wikipedia, ClickBuzz, all these things. So how these results are coming? Only their websites only. Why their website? Why our web pages or websites are not coming? Because if we use better this one. One second. Yeah, if we use better this meta information, author, description and keywords, then there is chances are there our web page also can come in the search, Google search. So apart from this meta information, you can use this semantic elements also, table, form, article. Instead of div, span, better to use these elements. Then there is chances are there our web page can come in the SEO, search engine optimization. Okay, next, what is the difference between inline element and block level element? This is the 100% every interview they will ask. Okay, so if we block level elements will start with the new line actually. So I will show you practically. Okay, block level elements are this one, div, paragraph, p element. So it will occupy complete browser width. Inline elements means this one, span, b, italic. I will show the difference in browser so that you will understand. So let's say after the form I am writing one div element. Okay, hello div, hello. Let's write I am block element. Okay, let's write some CSS for this. CSS you can give inside here only. Okay, let's write style element. Using style element we will write the CSS. Here for div, if I want to write some, let's say I want to give some border, 1px solid. Okay, here you can give the color of the this one also. So let's say I given border of the div. Let's see how it will come in the browser. See, this is occupying complete width of the browser. Block level means, let's say now I will create one inline element. Okay, inline element example is span. Okay, let's create hello, I am inline element. Okay, now I will give span also one border. Let's copy this one. Instead of red I will give green. Now let's see, I will give some break in between so that difference will come. See, this is a block level element. Before devals I will give one break. See, that is occupying complete width of the browser, but inline element is not occupying the complete width. Okay, it is occupying based on the content. Whatever content is there, that much only it is occupying. So that is the difference. Inline block level element will occupy complete width. Inline element will not occupy complete width. Let's go to next one. How to restrict number of characters typing in input. So by using this max length attribute, we can restrict the user without entering more than these characters. So let's say if I give max length 5, so more than this 5, the user cannot enter in the input. Okay, that is about restricting the number of characters. Let's go to next one. How to disable input. Using this disable attribute, we will disable the input. Okay, a user cannot enter anything if you use this attribute. Let's go to next. Autofocus. Autofocus means so it will focus automatically in input. When page reloads, this input will focus automatically if you use this attribute. What is the use of pre-element? Pre-element, for writing any address kind of thing, you can use the pre-element. If you use paragraph, it will come in the same line, all these things. It will not come in the side by line by line. So we should use the pre-element instead of this one. For example, let's go here and create one inside paragraph. I am writing one this one address. Let's say something. So this is my address, let's say. So if you see here in the browser, see single line it is coming. So I will use same thing in the pre-element. Then let's see. See now in pre-element, whatever we are writing, same thing will come. So for address kind of things, you can use the pre-element instead of paragraph or div. What is the use of label element with for attribute? Okay, if you currently we need to click the input element for focusing, but if you use the label element, if you click the label, input will focus automatically. So you can click the label, then input will focus automatically if you use the this for attribute. So for input you need to give id. So this whatever you are giving for, same thing you need to give in the id. Then only when you click this label, this input will focus automatically. Similar way this also, all inputs. Let's go to next. Text and text area. So text in type equal to text is for single line text. Actually, if you want to write some single line text, then you can use input type equal to text. If you want to write multiple lines, address kind of things, if you want to enter, then you can use the text area instead of text. Okay, how to reset a form. This is also very important. So there is an HTML is providing one thing, type equal to reset. That will reset everything, whatever you filled, that all data will go and it will clear the form if you use this one. Let's say I have one form here. I will add one reset button. Let's go here. Let's say add here reset input type equal to reset. Okay, let's see now. So here reset button is coming now. So I am filling some details, then I am clicking reset. See, that's cleared everything. So type reset will reset everything. Okay, whatever we filled, everything will reset. That type reset. For clearing the form, this will useful. Next, what are the new form attributes? So these and all they introduced in HTML5 actually. few of the attributes. Type range, for selecting range you can use this one, type equal to range. You can use like this, input type equal to date, date time, month time. Input type date means date picker will come for selecting the date. If you, let's say if you want to use, if you want to ask user select date of birth, then you can use this one, input type date. Similar to this, similar way, month, time, week also, only weeks will come. Type number means only numbers can it will allow, it will not allow text and all. Color means it will show you colors, you can select the color. By using that you can perform some another things. Auto focus, for focusing automatically input you can use this one. Required, for making any field required you can use this required attribute. So these and all introduced in HTML5. These are the new attributes. Okay. These are the form attributes. Let's go to next. What is the list in HTML5? There are two kind of list are there, order list and order list. Order list means 1, 2, 3, ABC, all that you can display. An order list means some circles, disk, square, all that kind of things you can display. So next question is how to change the type of the list. If you use this one, by default 1, 2, 3 will come, but if you use this type attribute, by using this type attribute you can change that 1, 2, 3 to A, B, C, like that. Here you can change it to Roman characters also, type equal to I, then I, double I, like that it will come. Okay, like that, using this type attribute you can change the type of the list. So this is about order. You can use this type attribute for both order list as well as unordered list also. That is about use of type attribute. Next, how to create a table. Yeah, table element we will create using the table element. Inside the two sections will be there. One is head section, one is body section. Inside using t head we will use the this head section. T head means table head. Inside table head we will use the tr element. Tr means table row, th means table head. So for writing this table headings we will write this th. Th means table headings. For writing some content under the headings we will use the td. Td means table data. So currently I have written for one row. You can write multiple rows this one, but heading will be single heading only for all the rows. Okay. So that's it about tables. So yeah, that's it about all the interview questions. So almost I have added 27 interview questions. I will send this presentation to you also as a PDF. So you can go through, and if any missing questions or anything, you can ask me in the personal group as well as anything. You can comment in the video also.